Deviants. Hope you have a good week so far. Well, today we're going to continue our look at the 5th Doctor era with Resurrection of the Daleks. A group of futuristic humanoids in 1984 London are shot by two policemen led by Commander Lydon. Two of the humanoids, Galloway and Quartermaster Sergeant Stein, escape into a time corridor is situated, but Galloway is killed. Lydon transports back to his battle cruiser in the far future and prepares to attack a prison space station whose only prisoner is the creator of the Daleks, Davros, who has been held there since the events of Destiny of the Daleks. Meanwhile, the Doctor, Tegan, and Turlough are being dragged down a time corridor in the TARDIS, following on from the events at the end of Frontios. They emerge in the London Docklands. Okay. That Daleks' assault on the prison station is fought off by the station crew, led by Dr. Styles and Lieutenant Mercer. Lydon persuades the Dalek Supreme to use poisonous gas, and that Daleks take over the ship. Watch Officer Osborne attempts to destroy Davros, but Lydon and Engineer break into the cell and kill Osborne before she can complete her mission. They release Davros from his cryogenic imprisonment. Oh, not good. The Doctor and his friends meet the traumatized Stein, and all return to the warehouse to hunt for the end of the time corridor. There they meet a military bomb disposal squad, called in by builders. While the others are distracted, Turlough stumbles into the time corridor, ending up on that Dalek ship. Having learned that the Doctor is in the warehouse, the Supreme Dalek orders a Dalek to detain him. That Dalek travels through the time corridor and kills several of the squad's men before the Doctor advises them to focus their fire on his eye stalk, blinding it. In the resulting struggle, the humans push the Dalek out of the warehouse window, and it explodes on hitting the ground. Tegan suffers a head injury and blacks out. Only Styles, Mercer, and two guards are left alive of the original crew. Disguised in uniforms taken from Lydon's guards, they plan to blow up the station via its self-destruct system. Davros tells Lydon that he has been in cryogenic storage for 90 years and vows to take his revenge on the Doctor. While Davros' travel chair is undergoing maintenance by the engineer Kiston, Lydon explains that the Daleks lost their war against the Movellans because of the development of a virus that specifically attacks Dalek tissue, and they have awakened Davros to find a cure. Davros demands that he remain on the prison ship while working on the virus, in case he needs to be refrozen. While Lydon leaves to discuss this with that Supreme Dalek, Davros uses a hypodermic-like mind control device to take control of Kiston. The Doctor and the members of the bomb disposal squad search for the Khalid mutant that was housed inside the destroyed Dalek. They kill it only after it wounds one of the squad's men. The Doctor and Stein head into the TARDIS to find out what is happening at the other end of the time corridor. The TARDIS materializes inside that Dalek ship, and the Doctor tells Stein that they should find Turlough and make a swift exit. Stein reveals that he is an agent of the Daleks. A patrol of Daleks close in to exterminate the Doctor, but Lydon enters and informs them that the Supreme Dalek has ordered that the Doctor be taken alive. That Daleks lead the Doctor away. Turlough joins the remnants of the ship's crew, telling them that the time corridor might help them escape the effects of the ship's self-destruct. On Earth, the men attacked by the Dalek creature appears disoriented. The group commander, Colonel Archer, decides to radio for help. He seeks help from two policemen, Lydon's associates. As he tries their radio, a policeman holds a gun to his head. The Daleks reveal their plan of cloning the Doctor and his companions, and using the clones to assassinate the High Council of Time Lords on Gallifrey. Stein begins the mind-copying sequence while the Doctor tries to talk him into resisting his Dalek mind conditioning. Styles and the two station guards are killed when trying to activate the self-destruct system. On Earth, a clone of Colonel Archer goes to the warehouse under Dalek control. The bodies of Colonel Archer and his men are later seen aboard the Dalek ship. Tegan makes an escape attempt, but is recaptured by the policemen and taken to the Dalek ship. The squad's scientific advisor, Professor Laird, is shot while trying to flee the soldiers. The two Daleks take Davros, where he demands tissue to establish the cure. After consulting the Supreme Dalek, they agree, but Davros uses the mind control device to take control of them. In the duplication chamber, Stein is overcome with confusion. The Doctor has realized that Stein's conditioning is unstable and tries to reawaken his ability to think for himself. Just as the mind-copying sequence nears completion, Stein breaks his conditioning and stops the process, freeing the Doctor. Yay! The Doctor finds Turlo and Tegan, and they return to the TARDIS along with Stein and the last surviving station crew member. Rather than depart, the Doctor decides to destroy Davros once and for all. With Stein and Lieutenant Mercer, he heads to the station lab, leaving Tegan and Turlo in the TARDIS, where he has surreptitiously programmed on time delayed to return them to the warehouse. The Doctor confronts Davros in the lab, but his chance to kill him is lost when Stein's conditioning reasserts itself long enough to let Leiden's troops kill Lieutenant Mercer. Stein refuses to accompany the Doctor back to the time corridor and runs off into the station. Davros' army, consisting of Kiston, a soldier, and 2 Daleks, is growing, and he dispatches his Daleks to Earth. Anticipating resistance from the Daleks not loyal to him, Davros breaks open a capsule of the Movelian virus. 2 Daleks enter with the intention of exterminating him, but are themselves killed by the virus. At the warehouse, a battle takes place between Davros' Daleks and those loyal to the Supreme Dalek. The Doctor returns through the time corridor, realizing that the unexploded bombs discovered earlier on are canisters containing the Movelian virus. He opens a canister that Tegan and Turlo have brought into the TARDIS, and places it behind the Daleks, who start to die. Lydon has escaped and sees the Daleks' demise. He swaps his Dalek uniform for that of a policeman, and joins his 2 fellow Bobbies on their next vigil. Back on the space station, Davros prepares to use flee in an escape pod, but the Movelian virus attacks and seemingly kills him. The Supreme Dalek appears on the TARDIS scanner and threatens the Doctor, claiming that the Daleks have duplicates of prominent humans all over Earth. Meanwhile, Stein is trying to activate the self-destruct sequence. Just as he's about to finish, the Daleks enter and exterminate him, but he manages to complete the sequence and destroys both the station and the Dalek ship. The Doctor calls for them all to leave, but Tegan refuses, saying she no longer enjoys her adventures, and runs off. The Doctor is saddened by this, and he and Turlo leave. As the TARDIS vanishes, Tegan runs back, remembering the Doctor's old admonishment, "Brave heart, Tegan." She calls out to the empty air that she will miss him. Yes, and we will miss you too, Tegan. We will miss you too. So anyway, let's look at some production notes about this episode. The working titles of this story were The Return, Warhead, and The Resurrection. The story was originally due to be produced as the climax of Season 20. However, due to a strike by the electricians, the story was postponed and, with minor rewrites, resurrected for Season 21. Because of the delay, Michael Wisher, who had originated the role of Davros, was unavailable, and the role was given to Terry Malloy instead. The story was originally supposed to be directed by returning director Peter Grimwad. When the story was postponed, Grimwad took the cast and crew out to dinner, but did not invite John Nathan Turner, because he had intended to take Nathan Turner out separately. Nathan Turner felt slighted by the omission and refused to allow Grimwad to direct the story when it was rescheduled for Season 21. However, Sayward had already promised Grimwad that he could provide a script for the season, so Grimwad was allowed to write Planet of Fire. The serial was partially shot in Shad Thames. This story was intended to be 4 parts of the usual 25-minute length. However, due to the BBC's coverage of the 1984 Winter Olympics held in Sarajevo, Yugoslavia, the series' regular slot was not available. Rather than interrupt transmission, the decision was taken to transmit this story as 2 double-length episodes, 45 minutes per episode, on consecutive Wednesdays, rather than Season 21's normal Thursday-Friday time slot. It is often asserted this was directly because of the success of the 2-part experiment that the following season was produced in the same format. However, this decision had already been taken. The first copy of the story to be sold to American PBS stations by the BBC was done in the original 4-part serial format. However, Part 2 had a raw soundtrack, lacking sound effects and music. The complete version, in which the entire story is compressed into one feature-length episode, had the entire second half of the raw soundtrack, with the second quarter with music and effects intact. The portions with the raw soundtrack also included some extra scenes not used in the final 4-part cut. This is often wrongly stated, including by Matthew Robinson on the DVD commentary, as Leslie Grantham TV debut, when he had appeared in 1983 for one episode, Little Green-Eyed Monster, in the series Good Night and God Bless. It was either the role of either Galloway or Kiston, and chose the latter because it would allow him more screen time. He went on to play the notorious Dirty Den Watts in the long-running soap opera EastEnders, again being cast by Matthew Robinson. Following his return to the soap opera in 2004, his character addressed another character, a wheelchair-bound Ian Beale, as Davros, and encountered a police officer named Kiston, meta-references to his Doctor Who appearance. Now that is awesome. So overall, I say, yeah, this is a pretty good episode, and again, it's a Dalek story, so can't go wrong with that. So overall, I give Resurrection of the Daleks 5 sonic screwdrivers out of 5. Well, join me next week as we continue on to the penultimate 5th Doctor story, Planet of Fire. So, until then, this is Hoobie and Queen saying, "Oh my giddy aunt! When I say run, run! I have a versatility of the neutron flow. Would you like a jelly baby? Fantastic! Allons-y! Geronimo!" Bow ties are cool, fezzes are cool, and Stetsons are cool.